Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're going to get started on tonight's ritual. We'll give it like a few minutes before we get started so everybody can enter in the chat. That's okay. Oh, sorry. That's okay. Hold, please.
Mikey said, hey, y'all.
Hi, Mikey. Okay, we can just stick these little papers like on a candle. We'll just do that. And then I can assign the numbers to them later. We are live. Will you put some of these under some of the candles, please? So tonight we're going to be doing our Shabe Yaldas winter solstice New Year ritual that we did last year. So we're going to be doing some bibliomancy, reading from the Hafiz, and we're going to be burning these candles for the supporters here of this channel. So you're going to get a number. And your number is going to be assigned to a candle and to some bibliomancy. So make sure that you're paying attention to your number. I think all these have it. Do all these have one?
This one's missing one.
Okay.
And this one's missing one.
Cool. Is there not an 8 somewhere? That one at the end? No, that one has it. The pink one? No, the pink one has it.
There's only 19.
Are you looking for?
Just this other candle.
Oh.
Okay.
I feel like this one's a little bit more.
Put some more on there.
It's a little too hot. She's a dragon. Alright. Alright, Miss Dragon.
Oh. I just use my nails.
Because she's a dragon. Yep, we'll only need one. They'll smoke. Like you can use more, but it's not going to smoke any differently. See? It's not like sage where you have to be like, let me torch it again. But you know the culture, you know. You should see her when she pulls out cookies from the oven. Okay, with the nail.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Okay, so we're going to get started. We have 20 candles now on the table, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 20 candles. So we're going to be doing our New Year's winter solstice sort of celebration like we did last year. Last year we did a live streamed ritual kind of as a way to say thank you for all the supporters here of this channel. And a very traditional thing to do at Shabe Yaldas is also to do some bibliomancy, reading from the Hafiz. The Hafiz is a poetry book that is thought to kind of be like channeled messages from the divine. So we're going to be reading from that for everyone's candle. So if you are on the Patreon, pay attention to what number that you will be assigned. And then you can go back and listen to your number. I don't want to use anyone's names because I know that some people who support the channel and everything like to keep things a little bit more private. So I won't use people's names, but I will be using numbers. So you're going to want to go back to the number. Once we get through all of the supporters, I'm happy to pull some high fees for people who aren't on the Patreon. So if you want to stay tuned for after, you can stay tuned for that. And we can do that if we have time. I'm going to be streaming today for like about an hour-ish. And this is just kind of a live streamed ritual as a way to say like thank you to everyone who supported the channel. And we're just going to get right into it. So some of the things that are traditional to have on your Shabe Yaldas altar or table, the two main fruits being watermelon and pomegranate. These kind of represent like light and dark half time of year. They're both like warm red fruits. Watermelon to me, you know, it represents the summertime. It represents life and it represents fertility. And the pomegranate represents like our ancestors. It represents protection from illness. It represents the dark half of the year and death. So those are pretty iconic fruits to have for Shabe Yaldas. But really an array of fruits is pretty common. And then some mixed nuts. Mixed nuts bring in like money and good fortune in the coming new year. So have some mixed nuts tonight, eat some pomegranate if you have some, or drink some pomegranate juice or some red wine. Pick up some watermelon and eat some watermelon. The idea is that, you know, during reading the Hafiz and during Shabe Yaldas, eating these things will bring you all of these things in the new year. This would normally be celebrated like earlier. So like December 21st to December 23rd is like typically when this is going to be taking place, but we're celebrating it later. You know, we have a lot going on like between winter solstice and the holidays and everything. So we're doing this now. And the book, once again, for those of you who are just now tuning in, it's the Hafiz, which is a poetry book. And these poems are thought to be like words from the divine. So I do have the book, but the book decided to like go do its own thing. I was looking for it. So we're using a PDF. So I'll be doing some bibliomancy via the PDF here. So I'm just going to sit here and scroll and I'll stop on the poem that I think is appropriate. Bibliomancy is like kind of divining and foretelling using like a book. But you know, we're living in 2023 now, so we can do this on a PDF. So why don't we, just to kind of get us started, we'll start with those of us that we have here in person for this ritual. So we'll be doing 4. You want a black one? Okay, we'll have you go first. So remember that your number is 16. In case you forget, you can go back in this video. So this is your candle. Okay, you ready? Let's see what we get for you. So this is supposed to kind of be like your fortune for 2023 per Hafiz. Singer, sweet singer, fresh notes strew, fresh and afresh, new and new. A heart gladdening with wine on thy lips and brew. Fresh and afresh, new and new. Saki, thy radiant feet I hail, flush with red wine and goblets pale. flush our pale cheeks to a drunken hue, fresh and afresh, new and anew. Then with thy love to toy with thee, rest thee where none can see. Seek the delight, for kisses ensue, fresh and afresh, new and new. Here round thy life the wine is twined. Drink, for elsewhere what wine wilt find. Drink to her name, to the hours that flew. She that has stolen my heart from me. How does she wield her empery? Paints and adorns and scents her too, fresh and afresh and new and new. So, like last year, we kind of talked a little bit about like what we felt like these poems might mean. Do any of you have anything that you'd want to add about that poem? What you felt about that poem? Like,
I'm getting Dionysus energy.
I was kind of getting Persephone. I was kind of getting Dionysus. I was kind of getting like a year of some hedonism, some devil card reversed.
Maybe like embracing the new you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A new leaf to form.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe some stuff coming up like half the year, like because I was thinking of like spring, early summer.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like sun is on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a color that you would like craft in?
Hit me with a red.
A red? Okay. This one's gonna be yours. You're number 20.
Oh, we like a 20. We a double digit.
I can take your number thing back because I want to leave these with the candles. I think I can stick them probably in the wax while it's wet.
Ooh.
That's the way we want to do it. All right. We're gonna do one for Crafton. I want to do ones for the people that are already, here in person. That way it gives people a little bit more time to kind of come into the chat and get on the chat. Okay, here we go. And for those of you at home, feel free to comment down below and let us know what you think of some of these poems. So for Crafton, the span of thy life is as 5 little days, brief hours and swift in this halting place. Rest softly, rest while the shadow delays. For time's self is not in the dial's face. On the lip of oblivion we linger, and short is the way from lip to mouth where we pass. While the moment is thine, philosophy the glass, ere all is not. Consider the rose that breaks into a flower, neither repines, though she fades and dies. The power of the world endures for an hour, but not all shall remain of their majesty. Be not too sure of your crown, who you thought, that virtue was easy and recompense yours. From the monastery to the wine tavern doors, the way is not.
Ominous. We'll take it.
I feel like, to me, this poem is kind of giving like, be careful who you put on pedestals.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what else I do.
We have some witches also off camera over here talking. We're going to be talking about the Hyphes. Dylan was also thinking about Dionysus per the first poem, for your poem. Okay, you said you want a pink one, right?
Conjure cutie does pink.
I don't know what number this one is.
5.
Okay, you're 5.
Okay, 5. More
Number
power.
5.
More power.
Earth, air, fire, water, honey.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys will be keeping these candles. And so you want to burn them all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be reading the glass of the candle once it's burned.
Okay.
Hither down, path of spring she came, and by the path of autumn she goes.
Oh.
Now listen, minstrel, tune thy lay.
Oh.
Thyself hast said, the present steals it all away. The future comes, and bringing what, dost thou know? Summoned by the melody did Hafiz rise out of the darkness, near thy lips to dwell. Back to the dark again his pathway lies. Sing out, sing clear, and sing your cries farewell. Iconic.
It's giving Persephone.
It's definitely giving Persephone.
She
And
said, "I'm
Persephone
in,
core.
I'm
She said, by the path of spring she came, and by the path of autumn she will go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They knew who they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Julie, Dylan, Australia, good to see you. Sorceress, everybody, good to see you guys. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the supporters candles. So just look on the Patreon and see what number you're assigned. There'll be a post, and then you can go back and replay this video, and you can see which one is yours specifically. And then for the people who are receiving candles, like I'll be happy to do a video talking about the prophecies of all of these candles. But I do think it's just more appropriate to not assign them like names if I'm going to do that. Because, you know, I don't want to sit up here and be like, oh, honey, girl, this candle filled with soot, honey, trash, garbage. So I don't want to do that. So I think it'll be easier if I'm like, number 4, I'm concerned, as opposed to saying somebody's name. Okay. So this is going to be number 18. Number 18. Remember where your guys' candles are, by the way. For your number and the candle. Okay, so number 18. Julie, I'm going to be posting it later.
I got carried away.
The margin of a stream, the willow's shade, a mind inclined to a song, a mistress sweet. A cupbearer whose cheek outshines the rose, a friend upon whose heart thy is laid. O happy starred, let thine hours fleet. Unvalued, may each minute as it goes lay a tribute of enjoyment at thy feet, that thou mayest live and know life is sweet. Let every one upon whose heart desire for a fair face lies like a burden sore, that all his hopes may reach their goal unchecked, throw branches of wild rue into the fire. My soul is a bride with rich store of maiden thoughts and jeweled fancies decked, and in time's gallery I yet may meet some picture meant for me, some image sweet. Thoughts?
Well, the way things be set up.
I kind of get from this, like, be mindful of your time and where and with who you're choosing to spend it. That's kind of what I got from it.
You are who you hang out with, so be careful.
Always be careful in these streets.
Okay, this is going to be for number 4. Number 4. Rise up and let my eyes delight in thy stately grace. Thou art the goal to which all men's endeavor has pressed, and thou the idol of Hafiz's worship. Thy face from the world and life shall bid him come forth and arise. Number 4, maybe someone's coming into your life. Maybe.
I think we sound actually concerned about number 4.
Maybe someone's coming into your life. Maybe someone who your eyes will find delight in their stately grace. Maybe someone who you have been working on manifesting, or someone who is a goal to which all men's endeavor has pressed. So that's number 4. This one is number 10. 19, actually. Just kidding. I can't read my own handwriting. And you guys tell me what you think of this, too.
Okay. Let me feel this.
Thou whose sense is dimmed with piety, thou too shalt learn the magic of her eyes. Forth comes the caravan of sorcery, when from those gates the blue-veined curtains rise. And when she walks the flowery meadows through, upon the jasmine shame cheek and dew, gathers like sweat, and so she is fair to see. Maybe someone's coming into your life too, number 19.
Oh.
I was getting dark goddess energy.
Some dark goddess energy.
I was getting new eat.
Okay.
For the eyes. For the caravan?
Magic of her eyes.
Hello?
Forth comes the caravan of sorcery.
I just don't see it as a person. Because
Unless 19, you're the person.
I mean, you could be the person, but I really think the dark goddess is going to struggle you whole. And that's on period.
Period.
I mean, I've seen it. She's not
Okay. I might need some help with lighting some
I'll
of
help
these.
you. Let me get Luna off my lighting.
So this is for number 14, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that says? One. Number one?
Number
Okay.
one.
Number one.
That's the number one for me.
I'm going to hand that to you. Thank you. Okay, number one. Hi, Bougie. Thank you for the super chat. This is for Shabe Yaldas. So this is kind of like a way to celebrate the new year and winter solstice. And we're reading poems from the Hafiz, which is like a sort of channeled poetry book. And the poems are supposed to kind of be like from the divine. And so it's traditional to read from the Hafiz during Shabe Yaldas as a way to get like a fortune for your coming year. And then I'm lighting all these candles for the supporters of this channel. And I'll be divining the candles, but I'm assigning people numbers. So this was number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I am dead, open my grave and see the cloud of smoke that rises round thy feet. In my dead heart, the fire still burns for thee. The smoke rises from my winding sheet. Come to me, my beloved, for the meadows wait. Thy coming and thorns bear flower fruits instead. Thorns and cypress fruit and desolate bear winter from thy steps have fled. That kind of feels to me like maybe a beloved dead tea. That kind of feels like maybe
Honor their ancestors.
honoring your ancestors, maybe tapping more into your mediumship abilities, communicating with the dead, feeding your beloved dead, visiting your dead, maybe your dead visiting you. I feel like for number one, this could be like a tea for the coming year. Okay, this is number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Swerve not from the path of righteousness. Do not let the world lure thee. I am a wrinkled crone, hiding beneath a robe of lasciviousness. She plunders them that pause, and heed her moans. For I bring thee wealth untold. Bow not thine head before the calf of gold. Like Samir following after wickedness, from Shah's garden blows the wind of spring. The tulip in her lifted chalice bears a dewy wine of heaven's ministering. Until the Sultan hears, sing. Some of that to me feels kind of dark goddess energy in the beginning there. I felt like, swerve not from the path of righteousness. Do not let the world lure thee. I, like a wrinkled crone.
I'm getting a little bit of Kaliak, or like looking at the crown archetype, which would make me think this winter time would be a good time to look within to kind of figure out where you've strayed the path from the dark goddess, or at least the divine that you shall seek in the coming year. And I think the worldliness, I think that's more of attuned to, you're getting away from your practice, you're getting away from your prayers, you're getting away from like doing the good work that fills you.
Yeah, to me
You
it
can't
feels
feel
like
the
a
world.
call back from the goddess, calling you back to like your magic.
Come back home, babe. I'm gonna need you to come back home.
And for a lot of times, especially for us witches, I feel like when you're a practicing witch and you're in the craft and you're doing your work, like those spirits don't just go away because you stopped practicing. Like those oaths that you made don't just stop because you decided you didn't have time for the craft anymore. And when you're kind of baptized in the waters and when you're dedicated, and especially if you're initiated, you can't just necessarily put the craft on the back burner, because then the spirits will start to put you on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets worse from there, baby. Sainted.
Okay. You want to pick the next one? Next candle?
Let's do one from this side.
I was thinking that might be a good idea.
13.
13.
13.
Now remember, I'm going to be posting, for those of you who are supporters of the channel, I'll be posting a thing with people's numbers. That way it's kind of more private. So you're going to want to get your number from when I post that on Patreon, and then you can kind of go back and re-listen to this. And if any of these fortunes kind of stick out to you or resonate with you, you can kind of take some of the wisdom from these too. So for number 13, flow bitter tears and wash me clean. For they whose feet are set upon the road that lies between earth and heaven. Thou shalt be pure, thy said, before unto the pure thou lift thine eyes. Seen but himself, grief to the mirror, his soul breaks in.
It's like transformation through grief.
Unbaptism.
That's very appropriate for the number because it's giving death card energy.
Death card energy. Grief.
I was getting grandfather time.
With every death comes rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's more of a masculinity, like finding the masculine within yourself and finding it within the divine so that you know how to pour into that.
And baptism.
Unbaptism.
If you choose the lack of which, you know.
You know.
Devote yourself.
Devote yourself to yourself.
Exactly.
Who do we have next? Who's number next?
Number 6.
Number 6. Number 6, this is your Hyphes.
Ooh, that's a big flame.
O foolish heart, the pleasure of today. If thou should abandon, will tomorrow go away? Thy surety for the gold that thou is throwing away. In Shokban, the troops of grief disband, and the crown of hours with wine's red coronet. The sun of merriment ere long will set. Emerge, Ramazan is close at hand. Dear is the rose now, and her sweets proclaim, while yet the purple petals blush and blow.
Oh. It's the queer identity for me.
Queer identity.
You don't hear purple, like you don't hear violets unless it's a tea.
The foolish heart, the pleasures of today, if thou abandon them, will tomorrow go away.
It's the full card too.
Embrace who you truly are.
I kind of feel like from this too, like it could be like don't save the labor for tomorrow, do it today. Like if there's something that you're wanting to like make a change with,
Mm-hmm.
I think you should do it today and the pleasures of today. Maybe there's something pressing that needs to be taken care of or handled. Next.
Oh, next. Let's do this one. 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
What drunkenness is this that brings me hope?
Right.
Who was the cupbearer and whence the wine? That minstrel singing with a full voice divine. What lay was his for mid the woven rope of song he brought word from my friend to me. Set in this melody, the wind itself bore joy to Solomon.
I don't know. Solomon always makes me think is the gin.
What drunkenness is this that brings me hope? Maybe like what sort of like craziness is like bringing you a sense of sacredness? Who was the cupbearer and whence the wine?
Crossing the hedge.
Maybe crossing the hedge. The minstrel singing with a full voice divine. What lay was his for mid the woven rope.
It feels like senseless hope and optimism almost that comes not from obvious circumstance, from the line of like, from whence the wine.
There's no wrong answers.
So
I mean, it's oracle.
Yeah, there's no wrong answers here.
I was getting a past life too.
Whenever I hear Solomon's name too, like I typically think of like working with the jinn or working with demons and like maybe some of this drunkenness that gives you hope. Like I think it's important to remember that the poetry of the Hafiz is written like with more of an Abrahamic sort of value system in mind. So I feel like, you know, drunkenness being linked to like wickedness and like losing your virtue through like drinking and stuff could also be like they call alcohol spirits, like partaking of the spirits. Maybe it could also be, I just am feeling maybe like a sign like to wind itself bore joy to Solomon, like maybe getting into some Solomonic magic, maybe like the drunkenness of ceremonial magic can bring you hope, or maybe you feel like it's giving you hope, but maybe you need more structure with some of your ceremonial magic.
Maybe
I took it as like becoming under the influence to cross over and meet the divine and building a relationship with them that way.
I like that a lot too. And I feel that with like what lay was his for mid the woven rope.
Yeah. Personally.
Next.
I was trying to drink wine.
So maybe work with some Solomonic teas. Don't have a false sense of hope. And
Mhm.
cross the hedge.
Cross the hedge.
and be safe.
Be
And be
safe
safe.
about it.
Ooh, can you get mine out of my purse? And then
Number
I
4.
mention- Number 4.
Number 4. Oh, hold on.
My lady that did change this house of mine into a heaven where she dwelt, from head to foot the angel's grace divine enwrapped her. Pure she was, spotless of sin, fair as the moon, and wise, lords of the kind and tender glance, her eyes with an abounding loveliness did shine.
innocence.
I kind of wondered if it was more on a. I'm trying to think of it. Like, it gives me like looking at purity and innocence and being like so in love with the idea of it, but you're not seeing it in yourself and not finding how pure your delivery, your commitment, your drive, your motivation is. Like, you're forgetting about you. You've looked so far out the window that you forgot there's one for you too. I don't know.
It feels to me kind of like an apotheosis tea as well, like maybe not just honoring the divine in an external sense, but also honoring the divine in an internal sense, like as above, so below, as the goddess, so are we, kind of thing. Anything else? It's okay if you guys don't have anything. Anything that comes to mind when reading that. There's not really a right or wrong. Mikey says divine feminine, even Mother Mary vibes could also be like the purity and innocence and blessings of a child. Let's do the next one.
Number 9.
Number 9. Between the ambush of my eyes and my heart's enmity, her eyebrows bow the dart that flies beneath her lashes. Bring to me sorrow and absence, glances cold, before my time have made me old. A wine cup from the hand of youth, bring me for pity and for ruth. Then shall the unbelievers taste a draught or two of that same wine. But if they like it not, oh, bring it with haste. Let joy's flowing cup be mine. That feels like a curse.
Vengeance.
Yeah, that feels like
And
vengeance.
fuck the haters.
Throw them in a jar, babe.
Fuck them.
Throw them in a jar.
Next, do you have anything?
I think it feels like maybe this might be the year of like getting into some baneful work.
Mm-hmm.
And allowing yourself to experiment with some more Malefica. Next.
Number 11.
Thy messenger, the breath of dawn and mine, a stream of tears since lover and beloved. Keep not their secret through my verses shine, though other lays my flowers, grace has proved. Countless nightingales have sung thy praise, veiled beneath the curls thou passed. See to right and leftward those that welcome thee, have bartered peace and rest on thee. Wine drunk, love drunk, we inherit paradise. Where mine thy cheek, red as red, and leave the cell to faces sinister. O Qasir, whose happy feet bathed in life's fountain, help one who toils afoot, the horsemen mount and hasten on their way.
That was a long one.
So, kidnapping. I don't know. It seems like you're being broken away from something that's caused so much harm.
Thy messenger, the breath of dawn and mine, a stream of tears since lover and beloved.
Right.
Like maybe something like it's kind of getting me hanged man upright sort of energy, in the sense that like going through loss and some grief and having a sense of feeling like something being taken, but like also kind of maybe finding divinity in that process or connecting more to your own divine in that process.
Yeah.
So Pisces season, babe. Pisces season. We just look out for that time. That's when it's happening.
Okay.
Next.
Number 14.
Saki, thy kiss shall still my bitter cry. Lift up your grief, bowed heads, and all that weep. The healer brings joy in a wine cup, so drink deep. Disciple of tavern priests, the pious sheik may bring promise and future bliss. The greedy glances of a Tartar horde to me seemed kind, though one poor robe was all I had, but heaven served Hafiz. And when he fled through regions desolate, heaven brought him to thy gate. Thy kiss shall still my bitter cry, lift up your griefed bowed heads, all that weep. The healer brings joy, wine's cup, oh drink deep, like drink deep in the magic, like pour your grief or pour your pain into the magic. And drink deep from your magic, pull strength from your magic, pull strength from your spirits. Maybe you'll find bliss in the future and empowering and imbuing yourself with the magic.
I feel like the continuous idea of the drunkenness is almost like, how can we fully immerse ourselves into a mindset where everything just is and everything will be, when that idea of like quote unquote being sober and not really seeing things, it's kind of like your third eye is like getting more of an opening at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It's Luna taking the show for me.
Next.
Black Candle for Luna. Number 12.
Number 12. Lady that hast my heart within thy hand, thou heed me not, and if thou turn thine ear unto the wise, thou shalt not understand. Behold, the fault is thine, our words were clear.
We done told you.
I said what I said.
Even Luna said, I don't know, girl. You're going to have to do best.
We done told you.
The lady that has your heart within her hand,
I don't know.
the lady that has her heart within her hand, you listen to me not, like you heed me not, you don't listen to my feelings, you don't listen to my heart. And if they would turn thy ear unto the wise, you wouldn't understand. Like maybe like even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't get it.
She's like, you would never get it because you don't even commit yourself to me.
But also the behold, the fault is mine, our words were clear makes me think, maybe it's also the fault of the person who is not expressing themselves in a way that they think the person thinks is clear. Like there's clearly some hurt feelings here for this number. The lady that had my heart within her hand, she heeds me not. And if she were to like listen, turn thine ear unto the wise, they wouldn't understand. Like if you were to bring me your ear, you wouldn't get it. Behold, the fault is mine. Our words were clear. Like maybe it's almost like this person is like giving themselves a hard time because they're upset that this person doesn't care about their feelings, and like they're placing this person at a sense of like a higher sense in their sort of priority. Like clearly this person cares a lot about this other person who doesn't hold their heart.
And
who
that
doesn't
makes them
listen
feel
to them.
kind of guilty about it. Feeling
Because they know, I feel
misunderstood.
like. Yeah.
Rude. To have got your verse. Do better.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
Next.
Number 15.
They have filled the city with blood, those soft-voiced for whom we sigh. They have robbed and plundered the peace of my heart. Dowered is my mistress, and a beggar am I. What shall I bring her? A beautiful face? A jewel? The tiring of a maid's art? Brave tales of singers and wine relate. The key to the hidden 'twere vain to seek. No wisdom of ours has unlocked that gate, and locked to our wisdom it shall be.
I mean, the amount of devotion you're giving to this person, this energy that doesn't even look at you, it's the zeros for me. It's the zeros.
I kind of feel from this too, like it feels in relation to the last one where there's like a sense of almost maybe like a Two of Cups reversed sort of energy where it's like this person maybe feels like they are an empty city with like nothing in it and they have nothing to offer. The person, the soft voice for whom we sigh, they have nothing to offer and they just feel like an empty city covered in blood. The tales of singers and wine relate. Like it could be to me a theme of like self-worth and finding value in yourself and pouring into yourself before trying to pour from an empty cup. Maybe.
Always. Cup's gotta be full before you can pour anything.
All right.
Next.
Number 2.
I do. Come on, connections.
Arise, O cupbearer, rise, and bring to the lips that are thirsting the bowl they praise.
God dang.
For it seemed that love was but an easy thing, but my feet have fallen on difficult ways. I've prayed to the wind, my heart to flame, the fragrance of musk in her hair that I lose sleep in the night. Yet no fragrance stays. The tears of my heart's blood, sad and weeps. Hear the tavern keeper who counsels you. With wine, red wine, your prayers, and carpet dye.
Oh.
This is an English version, so like you have to keep that in mind. This was not originally published in English. Hear the tavern keeper who counsels you with red wine, your prayer, and carpet dye. There was never a traveler like him. The ways of the road and the holstery, where shall I rest when the still night through? Beyond thy gateway, O heart of my heart, the bells of the camels lament and cry. Bind up thy burden and again depart. The waves run high, night is clouded with fears, and eddying whirlpools clash and roar. This is like really giving a lot for the year of the chariot. Like this is really giving a lot for the year of the chariot. I'm getting a lot of Two of Cups sort of themes.
It's a lot at the bar. Sitting at the bar on the inside, waiting for my ride on the outside.
And you've heard it from Crafton's Oracle here first. Sitting at the bar on the inside.
Sitting at the bar on the inside,
Waiting
waiting for my ride on the outside. It's a song.
There
It's
you
a
go.
very honky tonky
Maybe
song.
listen to that song
If you can find it.
if you can find it. But I also think too, this might be like, you know, maybe like a distance makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing. Maybe like you have to let this person sort of go. Like maybe they're being called to do some other things. Maybe it's not so much like a breakup, but it's more like there's obstacles in between person A and person B.
I took it as being used.
Oh, being used.
Being used.
The only reason you go to the
That's
bar
what
is
came
to
to me.
drink for a reason. You can't
Being
drink at
used.
home. You already know the shit's going on. You won't talk about it, but you already know they know. You know.
That's what
It's some reason to drink.
from Conjure Cutie. Being used
And abused.
and abused.
And stop abusing the damn bar. And the tavern person.
The tavern will not help.
It's not going to get any easier, man.
It's gonna just dye your carpet.
So,
Dye your carpet.
So,
Maybe also dye your carpet. Maybe get new carpet. Maybe that's a thing here.
I mean,
Maybe
if
we
you
need new
keep-
flooring.
if you
Make the carpet match the drapes.
now here's my
No.
thing. Here's my thing. Stop throwing the wine on the ground rude, not very divine of you. For two, you're already at the tavern because your floor is dirty and you won't clean it up. And that's not making sense either. Like the home, the mental, all of it's just messy.
No,
It's
but
just
seriously, stop being used.
actually stop allowing yourself to be used.
Stop it.
Stop.
You're better than that. You're better.
Period. Next.
All right, next. You're gonna have to hold my phone for a second.
Okay.
Number 10.
The double D.
How shall my drowning voice strike their ears, whose light frightened vessels have reached the shore? I sought mine own, the unsparing years have brought me my own. To a dishonored name, what cloak shall I cover my misery, when each jesting mouth has rehearsed my shame?
Oh shit.
O
God
Hafiz, a seeking to an end, hold fast my mind with the wise have written. If at last thou attain desire of my life, cast the world aside. Yeah, abandon it. So I'm going to say mental health should be a priority
Yeah.
for 2023.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say drop everybody that ain't shit. They ain't shit, they've never been shit, and you putting anything into them is shitty.
Stop putting a mask of on who you really are. Be yourself.
Period.
Period.
There's a lot of themes of finding you.
Yeah.
Either drunk or drunken.
Right. Right. And the cupbearer keeps coming up. And I feel like the goddess keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if she did, I'd be concerned.
Last one.
Last one.
Oh, God.
Save the pink.
Saving the pink for last.
Number 7.
Okay, lucky 7.
7 year.
One chariot number.
To thee, O tongue that speaks through the mouth of slander and reeds, what thanks to thee when thy verses speed from lip to lip and the song thou hast sung? O cupbearer, set my glass afire with the light of wine. The world fulfilleth my heart's desire. Reflected within this goblet's ring, I see the glow of my love's red cheek and scant of wit. Ye who fail to seek the pleasures that wine alone can bring, let not the blandishments be checked that slender beauties lavish on me, until the grace of thy cypress decked, my love shall come like a ready pine tree. He cannot perish whose heart doth hold the life love breathless, though my days are told. In the book of the world lives my constancy. So we have the cupbearer again.
Giving in.
Giving into what?
I mean, if you don't,
Mm.
if you're not giving in to the energy that's being put towards you, whether that is magically, on the physical, the digital, or the astral, you're not doing enough. You got to start meeting halfway, is what I get from that.
Let not the blandishments be checked that slender beauties lavish on me.
Honey, they only lavish on you because they want one thing.
Like, are we trying to maybe pull some newness in? Like, oh, cupbearer, set my glass afire. Like, kind of light up my world, bring me riches with the light of wine.
The light of wine.
Yeah. And I think that wine, I see what Australia is saying. Apparently, this is the year of turning up. Lots of wine involved.
I mean, you're a Cancer. It's a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
It's a lot of feelings.
And I feel like wine is sort of this metaphor for the divine, for magic, for power, for prayer for the sacred. And I feel like the cupbearer is like the holder of those mysteries, which, maybe the cupbearer is kind of like its own spirit that we can work with, or maybe the cupbearer is like ourselves holding these mysteries and drinking from these mysteries.
Now's the time to drink wine to honor the divine. Period.
There you go. Period.
That's on tea.
And that's on tea. Period. So I will be burning these candles. I think we have them all going. I will be burning these candles. And I will post everyone's name linked to a number. So you can look up your number on Patreon and you can go back and you can rewatch this. But it'll take me a week or maybe a little bit more for all these candles to burn through. And then I'll be reading these candles on another live with your number attached to it. So if you want to come back and sort of get your prophecy from the candle, we're going to be reading the glass of the candle. So for those of you who have taken my candle magic workshop class, it's going to be similar to some of the stuff that we were talking about in that workshop, where we're going to be interpreting how the candle burned out. So if the candle burns all the way through nice and evenly, and there's no soot, then that's kind of a best case scenario. It also should take about a week for it to burn. If it burns quicker than that, that's a sign. If it burns longer than that, that's a sign. If it's covered in soot or the flame goes out, that's a sign. So we'll be talking about that in another stream, probably later this month, or maybe even in February, just kind of depending. I might save some of these candles, and so be looking out for a stream somewhere there. And make sure that you eat some pomegranates to protect you from illness this Shabe Yaldas season. Protect yourself from illness and, honor your ancestors through the pomegranate. Eat the watermelon to, bring you happiness, and eat the seeds, the nuts, to bring you money in the new year. So I think that's going to be it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining. Did you have anything? Anything else? Okay, so that's going to be the end of our stream. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Blessed be, and I will see you in hell.
How do I end it?